This video is going to explain how to do a new assessment for a new client. You always have the first 4 to 6 sessions to complete a new assessment. We do not want you to have to get it all done in one go. You need to see your client on different days at different times and to get a fuller picture. So you do have, like I said, the first 4 to 6 sessions to get this done. We do have a printable version of the assessment found down here on the resources page. Right here. You can print this off, carry it with you over the first sessions, make your notes, and then when you're ready you can come back and you can enter it into the assessment in RecTracker. We ask that you don't sit in front of your client with a clipboard with the assessment. That just seems too clinical for how we like to do our TRs, so just keep it with you if you are using the printable version, and make your notes when you're not with the client. To access the blank the blank assessment form, you can come to your client list and just click on New Assessment. Just so you know, if you happen to be on the client's home page, you can also find it down here and just click Add New. But this is by far the simplest way to do it. So here's the blank assessment template. You'll see the headers here are brown. The assessments follow the same process and procedure, and stages as the progress notes. So they'll go from brown for draft to yellow for submitted and green for approved. You'll see the score defaults to 19. I'll explain why in just a minute. So move through the assessment. We do want you to complete all these fields. Some with an asterisk are mandatory, but basically the whole thing is mandatory. Please do fill it out as completely as possible. Some of these answers are going to be drop downs. These fields all expand if you need more space. Some of these are going to have numbers, and if you see a number, it means that's part of the scoring process. And I'll explain, I'll show you at the bottom how that all works, but anything numbered is going to be part of the scoring, and that's important to answer. So the functional profile, behavioral leisural barriers, there's a leisure assessment, activities and interests, and then a section for open text about how you feel the client can answer these questions. So clearly ask the client if you can. If the client cannot respond, you can just enter NA for one of them. So back up about the scoring and the default to 19. It's because of this section here. We're assuming that the client does not have any of these attributes, so they get a point for not having it. That's our assumption. The more points you have in this assessment, the more able and less challenged the client is. So it was 19 as the default. If we happen to click one of these so the client does have inappropriate verbalizations, essentially that costs them a point. So now this says 18. Just so you know, that's how it works. Moving down here to this section, activities and interests. This is a new assessment. There will not be a past condition for you to answer. Current, yes you do, of course, has an asterisk, so please move through and score these. And any comments you choose to enter here will of course help you next time around when you do a new assessment, just to give some extra color, if you will. So it's important to do that as well. Down at the bottom is how we score it. These are the larger categories in bold. These 5 subcategories that are not bolded, these are the 5 categories that we graph on the client summary page. So it's the scores here that we're going to take, and that's how that's the data we're using to go to the client summary page. Save as a draft, or save and submit to your clinical manager. If you save it as a draft, it will automatically move to this assessments page here. And here's one in draft, and you can just click edit, and that will bring it back, and you can finish it up. And then click submit. It would change to yellow and be off to your clinical manager.